whatever she said. What did she say?
3, 2,
You could totally do something new. You could totally do something new if you wanted to there.
Right. We wouldn't be upset
at all.
Oh, really? So tomorrow I can do something new?
You absolutely. I encourage you.
Do your own thing, girl.
Be you. Be you. Okay? Except better. Unless you can be Batman, then be Batman.
Okay.
Be better, not bitter. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Welcome to the jungle.
Thank you all for coming tonight. I hope you are excited. I do have something to share as soon as I can get my head straight. As soon as I can.
Straight from here.
Yeah, that looks are deceiving right now. So 7:15. Okay, awesome. Here we.
So,
oh, sorry. Thank you.
What Jamie's trying to share is Joe sent us a video. We were supposed to share it yesterday, and because we were having such a great time, we forgot all about Joe.
I know that's hard to think, but it does happen.
And so, anyway, so now we are going to share that with you guys. One of Joe's adventures.
It did it again. It did it again. There we go. All right. So enjoy.
Hey, good morning, my social distancing family. This is Joe Baker, and I'm coming at you on day number 3 here in Breckenridge, Colorado. One thing that happened this morning that I didn't think I would ever have to do in the middle of July is like I needed to turn on my seat heaters and my heater in my car. How awesome was that? It was 50 degrees this morning. All right, well, y'all stay cool down there, and I'll give you some reports throughout the day. Thanks.
Wow. Look at that.
We finished breakfast and lunch, and we made some sandwiches because today is all about hiking and walking around nature and taking some cool pictures. They say it's going to rain, so we also have to have our rain stuff and all that good fun stuff too. So we'll keep you updated out on the trail. And hopefully I won't be exhausted and they won't have to just leave me there. All right, see y'all soon.
You have to carry the family on its back.
Yeah, he is. Man, that's a fast video. That reminds me of that bus driver weaving.
Yeah, I think he was actually speeding. He didn't speed that footage up.
Yeah, right. Man, that looks beautiful right there. Whoa. Oh, that's good, Joe. That is good, dude.
Oh, wow, look at that.
What in the world?
It's all right. It's all right.
I know, right? Think about this scene right here. He put the camera there, ran all the way back there, and then...
Field reporter Joe Baker checking in. We are on a hike. We're about...
Where's his cap?
2 miles.
I think he shredded it with his hair.
Another mile and a half to go, probably. And yeah,
so out of breath,
great.
Poor guy.
But my family's not designed for hikes, so
That's the Baker.
we're pushing through though. We'll check back later. Pictures to follow.
Man, that looks so cool. Look at him with this
his drone.
Yeah, his drone skills. Look at that. That's good, dude. I'm glad he did all that practicing because this is some good stuff right here.
Oh, that's pretty.
Golly, Joe. What in the world, dude?
That is beautiful.
It really is. Look at that. He's totally showing off right there, huh?
Okay, this goat is hilarious. He needs a groomer.
You know a groomer, right, Sandy?
Okay, so we just returned from a full day of hiking.
His head is shiny.
And that's what today was all about. Hiking, walking. And
he doesn't look like he believes his own words.
We did see some cool animals, as you could tell in the video. And overall, it was a fairly eventful day. It was an exhausting day.
Yeah.
So I guess you can guess what time it is. That's right. It's nap time.
It's beer time.
So back to you guys in the studio. Now have a good day. Have a good show.
Aw,
That was
man.
That was awesome, wasn't it? Though.
I mean, other than the weather bragging, but whatever.
Whatever.
Right. We need
Yeah.
cheese in here right now.
He can get out of here with himself. He can
We
get
were
out
at
of here.
101 again today.
That was all my friends.
Are you serious?
Yes. I mean, it's a break from 109. I'll take it.
8 degrees left.
But honestly, once you go over 100, it all just kind of feels the same.
Really?
That dry heat.
Makes you just want to stay indoors.
I will say, when I was in Texas, I love to work from outside. So my office, my balcony has been my office. So when I was in Texas, I was trying to do the same thing. I lasted 2 hours. I was like, forget it. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I was working from home, I would try to set my office outside, and then I was like, oh shit. Hot.
You're like, never mind. This only works in the movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly.
Man,
Lubbock, Texas.
Joe, that was
Yeah,
awesome, dude.
yes.
Honestly, that was some good scenery there, man. I hope you can put that as your background when you get back in the studio and stuff. So, but how was your day? No name. B.
Yeah. I gotta think about that one. Right, that's me. I had a good day. I mean, just the usual. Go teach, come back, and guess what, Joe? You'd be so proud of me. I took a nap today.
She sure did.
Actually, 2 naps today, to be honest.
Is that what that was?
Oh.
When she came on the pre-show earlier, she was all like, I was like, you awake? You awake now? So
Sorry to waken you.
I know. Did I bother you? Did we bother you?
Actually.
You mention it.
Gray said, I'm not interested in listening to him talking about Joe, talk about amazing weather, incredible scenery. I'm not jealous. Not at all.
I know, Carrie, we aren't either.
I tell you.
You know, I'm glad Joe is taking the brunt of that because I don't even want to share how the weather is up here. I really don't.
Because it's raining.
No, it's beautiful today, but it's so the dichotomy from one day to the next day is like, what? Really? Like we got a tornado siren yesterday and now today it's nice and beautiful-ish.
How was your day, Jamie?
Mine was, guys, I had to go to work last night after we were done with the show. Like I had to wait.
Like
Yeah.
2:30?
Yeah. So I had to go in and work around 1:30 and then I was there till 3 in the morning.
Right.
Literally all I did was unplug a cable, move it down and plug it back into another box. 3 cables all together.
I would have paid somebody.
They paid me. They paid me.
I would have delegated.
It wasn't cheap either. It wasn't cheap either. I'll tell you that. Okay.
Okay. Can you get me some Blackstone accessories?
There you go.
Oh, I was having a conversation with Carrie about Blackstone accessories. I found out that you guys down in Texas, y'all have a Walmart exclusive griddle set that has the back thing and the magnetic little strip that you can put stuff on and something else. And I was like, and anyway, all of it together, it's $23 difference between the one that I got and the one that y'all have. So I tweeted Walmart and asked them, can you help a brother out up here in Illinois, please? I'd appreciate it.
Response?
Not yet. Well, I literally just did it like moments before the show started.
Did Carrie send you her picture?
Yeah, it looked
Wasn't
awesome.
that amazing?
It was. It really was.
I think fajitas up in there.
I'm so jelly. I'm so jelly of her. Okay. So
Right.
anyway, outside of that, the little one had her horseback riding today again, and we went out and did that, and got
I need
home
to film her like just
galloping.
majestically.
Next time I do it, I'm gonna get a slow motion video, so it'll be like magical and everything. It's pretty gnarly. I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, got to come home. My wife picked up Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh.
So, like, I told her to watch it. I was like, you need to watch it. And so she started watching it tonight.
Okay,
So she's on the first episode. Yeah. And Sandy, I told her I'll later, but I told her you and she need to start a show together where y'all talk about like true crime stuff because she loves that stuff. She loves it. So
okay. Oh, that would be so awesome.
we might. So anyway, we'll get y'all two hooked up so y'all can figure it out. But that was how my day went. How was your day, Sandy?
So my day was really good. I don't know if y'all remember, I told you, Saturday I went and got my hair done, right? put some color in it. And, I was so super excited because it was just one of those colors that I don't traditionally put in my hair. So I was going for a rose gold look. Anyway, I did not tell you that after 2 washes, I have no more color in my hair.
What?
And so because she had to use like special curly so that it wouldn't damage my hair and stuff.
Oh,
It's not going to last too long. She said maybe 15 to 20 washes. So I was okay with that. So I didn't want to be like a complainer. And I'm like, this only lasted 2 washes. So I went in today and she retoned it. And so it's a lot better now. I had to go with a different color just because that other one probably wasn't going to take with my hair. And
weird though.
Yeah, she was like, Sandy, in all my years of doing hair, she said, that has never happened. I said, look, I'm always the 1%. Okay.
I was going to say, I'm like, right.
It's going to be something that doesn't happen. It's going to happen to me. So
yeah,
I'm like, don't worry about it. She fixed it, didn't charge me. So it was all good. And anyway, so we listened as a family. We listened to Ashley Fowler's podcast after dinner.
Oh, I hadn't. Is it a new episode?
No, I'm still kind of behind. I listened to Flight 19, I believe. Have y'all heard of that one?
No.
So it was super good. Y'all need to listen to it. And then we joined a Zoom meeting. One of Eric's cousins does a little Zoom, and today's episode that she did was about kicking the craving for sugar. So she had a bunch of interesting points in there. And then we went for a 4-mile bike ride. And
good for you.
Yeah, so we've been sat outside for a little bit, then came on here. But I had a great day. It was super busy at work, but it was good. So
I'm excited. You mentioned bike ride. The girls got new bikes today.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, my wife went to go pick up some bikes for them at the store, and they actually had them. And trust me, we've been looking for a few weeks now, or maybe even months, and they haven't had them, Sandy. It was like that one that when you sent Joe the plethora of bikes that were there that morning, and then when he went in the afternoon, they were all gone.
He was like this, please don't have any bikes. Please. Oh, they're not here.
And they listen. Look, I like what John said for you, Miss Knapp.
Miss Knapp.
That's good. I like that one. I like that one. So, guys, I am excited to share something with y'all. We've got a guest today. Y'all don't sound excited.
Our guest.
Okay.
Please tell us more.
Thank you. Yes, I will. I absolutely will. Our guest he's an amazing guy. I've got the chance to meet him and hang out with him once or twice. We've had a lot of discussions. It was really cool. We both, anyway, he's a musician. He plays a lot of, I've seen him play for our church. I've seen some videos that he's posted up where he's done some music, but he recently started a podcast in town. So he's up here with me in good old Bloomington Normal. He has a podcast, and it's about sports. It's about pro football specifically. And so I thought it'd be a great idea to have him come on the show and talk to us about that. I love the idea of people who have started podcasting or vlogging or whatever else. And when I thought about that, I was like, let me get this guy on. Why not? And let's just have him on and, give him a chance to talk about his podcast.
For sure.
So without further ado, please welcome Alex Dwyer to the Social UnDistancing Show.
Hi, Alex. Welcome.
Hey, Alex.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, bud.
How are y'all doing today?
We are good. How about you?
Great. I'm doing awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. As Jaime said before, my name is Alex Dwyer. I am a podcaster officially now. We are about 10 episodes in. So the podcast is not a normal football podcast because we're in Bloomington Normal. That's how we got the name for it.
I figured it out. I'm like, he said something about his name. And I'm like, oh, Bloomington Normal.
Yep. So that's how we came up with it. My co-host,
clever.
Russell, was the one that came up with it. So I can't really take all the credit for it. But it's something we've wanted to do for a while, and I'm really excited to be on here to kind of talk a little bit about it for you. So.
Awesome.
So tell us a little bit about you, though, Alex. Tell us some things about you.
Sure. Yeah. I am 23, so I'm a baby.
Yeah, you are.
So Russell and I went to ISU together, and that's how we met when we were both in an a cappella group together, actually. So, yep, I am a music major. That's what I did. And then I don't really do much with that. But
Really?
Besides playing at church and playing at, different shows that I've done in the past, when I was in Joseph just a couple years ago. So
that was the name of your band, or
the musical Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Wait, what?
You were okay.
You were in it?
I was Joseph.
Holy snap! Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Hush, your man. Is there a video of you playing Joseph?
There is. I'll have to find
it on
YouTube?
Again,
but no, it's not. But
okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on
there.
that.
But I do have the video of that. So
you're going to have to show me. I totally need to see this.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
You have a new best friend because Jamie musicals. That was the magic word.
All you had to say there.
Well, actually, Alex and I have connected on a couple of different things too. So musicals would just be a new thing added to it. Look what Carrie said. Carrie says, "Aka awesome."
Yes.
So Tim's over here clapping for you too. So,
but yeah, that's a little bit about me. Fresh out of school, I work at State Farm, so I'm a big kid, I guess you can say.
Yeah, you are.
But, during my free time, I love to play music all the time. Naturally, because that's what I did in school. And
you're really good too, Alex.
Thank you,
ladies and everyone. I'll vouch for him. He really is a good singer. He was on church this last week. We do a Zoom thing, kind of, church service. Well, he was singing quite a few of the songs and playing the guitar on there. If I find it, I'll link the church service in the comments so you guys can hear him actually singing.
Well, if he could just hum a few bars right now, that'd be even better.
Oh, I don't think I can do that right now. Sorry, my mic's cutting out.
Right. I'm going into a tunnel. I can't do
that. So you got your music degree and you graduated, and now you're working at a big fancy Fortune 50 company in town.
Yes.
And then you went, and so tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now while you're on the show.
Yeah. So as I said, my co-host Russell and I, we were both in the a cappella group, and we really connected right away just because we both loved professional football, NFL. He's a Tennessee Titans fan, and I'm a Chicago Bears fan. So, but we're both just have this passion for the game. And one day he texted me and was like, "Hey, I've got this project I need to do for whatever it was during school," because he's a year younger than I am. And he was like, "We should just start this podcast for my project. It's for a music business thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm down." I figured it was just going to be a one-off thing where we did it for his project. And then we're like, this was pretty cool. We should do this. And it's been a blast. I think our first few episodes were a little rough there. He didn't have a really good microphone, but now he's got one. I finally figured out how to edit better for podcasting. I had one for a little bit, but it was just me and it didn't stick. I didn't like doing one by myself. It definitely helps when you have other people.
It really does.
Yeah. It is darn near impossible to do one by yourself because you're talking to a brick wall pretty much. So
I'm okay with that though. Sometimes, just to let y'all know, I can run that.
Yeah,
it is much better with people though.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm gonna boot us out here in just a minute.
I would never boot y'all out, promise.
And so we're 10 episodes in now, and it's been a lot of fun. He's one of my best friends, and really it's hard during the off season when we started because the season's not going. There's not a whole lot of news at the moment, and that's just in general for all the sports podcasts. It just during the off season, it's hard to do that. But right now we're just kind of going through our preseason like rankings of different players, different positions, and Yeah, it's hard to really keep it contained in an hour. We like to keep our shows around an hour long. And one week we actually talked for like 2 hours. We're doing them over Skype, and we talked for like 2 hours. And I'm like, dude, look at the time, and he's like, holy cow, it's pretty late. We should probably cut it off. So yeah, I had to figure out a way to splice that episode into 2 different ones. But
okay, so yeah, you were sensitive to your listeners. So part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, yep. Because I know I for sure cannot listen to 2 hours of a podcast. So
I don't know.
I'm
okay with some of them. If some of them are, I'm okay. Because it's kind of like music. There are times when I can listen to music for hours, for example, but I do find it's enjoyable when there's a podcast that's talking about stuff that I appreciate, and yeah, I could go on for it. But I get that that's not the general thing. So, but I think what I like more about what you just said, Alex, was the idea that, man, if you guys are making podcasts on something that you love and is easy enough for you to go 2 hours in depth about, like, that tells me that you are hitting on something. Because you said you did something before and it just wasn't feeling right. It wasn't, you didn't like that you were by yourself, for example. But to find a partner and you guys can do 2 hours, with it nonstop without really thinking, I think that's gold right there. That's kind of how we started out. Was same way. We loved when Sandy came on our first or second episode and was like, Joe, we need to have Sandy on permanently. Like, we just got yeah. And so that was easy. So I get it.
Yeah.
You have about 10 shows, you said, right? 10 episodes in.
Yes.
So you guys are running this weekly, bi-weekly?
We started out weekly, but we'd have decided to do bi-weekly during the off season. And once the season starts back up, we'll be doing weekly episodes. That way we have just another extra news week to have more content available to us. Just it's a slow point in the NFL season. There's not much going on. So during this time, bi-weekly. But yeah, once the season starts back up, we'll be back to a weekly podcast.
So, Alex, what's it looking like for football this season? I mean, have you guys heard anything about as far as when it's going to start, fans in the stadium? Are you up to date on that?
Yes. So right now, the plan is for the season to go on as it is. No specification as to whether there'll be fans in the stands. The process would be no, because that's what all the other sports are doing right now. With the MLB starting in 8 days from now, they'll be doing no fans in the stands. The NBA is doing their little self-isolated bubble down in Orlando where they're having a 22-team tournament. And then the NHL is just doing a week of a tournament, and that's it. So
really?
Yep. On August 1st until August 8th, it's just a week of games, and then the season's done.
Wow.
Can you elaborate more? It's just a normal curiosity, honestly. The idea of all these teams of all these sports going and doing these, I don't remember what you said, but isolated sporting events basically, and then cramming everything into a short amount of time. Like, how are they practically making that happen? Like,
as far as I know, for what they're doing with that, the NBA, they have self-isolated everyone that wants to participate, because some people have opted out with family concerns over anything that's going on, and whether or not, there's just a whole bunch of different things that people could opt out for. And so they're isolating them for the 2 weeks or whatever, and then they'll play in just that one area, that one stadium that they have. And that's really all there really is. There's not going to be any fans. There's not going to be everyone that's going to be participating is kind of stuck with each other. So that's as far as I know about it.
So they're isolating, and then they just play. So they'll be together for however long the season is, and it'll just be them for that amount of time wherever they're playing.
Yep. They're going to exclusively be down in Orlando. They're not going to, travel to different stadiums. So there's not really a home field advantage or anything, which takes away a lot of things too. And it's going to be a very different sport environment than we've ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just because having the fans in the stands, I mean, that's 50% of the game, just being in there, just feeling, paying for your overpriced beer. I mean, all of that is just what makes it happen. And it's going to be super strange. I mean, definitely be watching. What about, what have you heard about colleges? I know I've only heard about Big Ten stuff and they're going to stick to their area, but I don't know about Big 12 or anybody else.
I don't really know what the plan is for college yet. I mean, as far as I know, they're planning to have college sports, but it's all in the air. I mean, I know some of my friends don't even know if they're going to be coming to ISU during the fall or whatever's the plan for that. I think the collegiate aspect is maybe the hardest one to determine so far.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the students and stuff, right? Because it's involving the students. Yeah, my wife's, she's a counselor at ISU. We're not sure what's happening still. I mean, here we are. What are we, July 16th? Yeah. Not sure yet.
Crunch time.
Carrie asked a question over here. She's saying, how about that Patrick Mahomes contract? Wreck-em?
No.
Patrick Mahomes. He got paid.
Patrick.
He sure got paid, did he?
He got paid $503 million over 10 years. The biggest contract in all of sports. And this is the first time that an NFL player has ever been the highest paid athlete in the world. So it's a milestone in that regard, as well as there's never been a contract that I've seen that's been 10 years. Which is crazy. Usually when you see contracts, maybe 6 years is the most, but they have locked him down to be the face of their franchise. He is the face of the NFL at this point. Everyone knows who Patrick Mahomes is at this point. And he's great. As a Bears fan, I resent it. We didn't pick Patrick Mahomes. We picked Mitchell Trubisky, whom I love dearly still. And but the guy's he's a great guy. I love Patrick Mahomes, and no one deserves that more than him. He's worked his butt off to really prove everyone wrong. And
So Alex, Pat came to Texas Tech and I'm down in Lubbock. And so we are now all Patrick Mahomes fans. We followed him to the Chiefs. So I have my Chiefs shirt and I'm like, no, I don't care about the Chiefs. I care about Patrick and company. I mean, the rest is just extras. But anyway, so yes, he has a huge following now. And how do you feel about people that follow players? Do you feel like we're jumping on a bandwagon?
No, I think that's a big difference between now. I feel like that's especially prevalent in the NBA. I feel like a lot of people will follow LeBron James wherever he goes, or I mean, that's the biggest example that I've got is I know a lot of people that just like to watch wherever LeBron James is playing. That's who I'm going to root for.
Yeah.
And I always grew up a Bears fan. My dad was one, so I just inherently was always a Chicago Bears fan.
Yeah.
But I know plenty of guys that, guys and gals that have, decided to follow a team because of Peyton Manning or because of Aaron Rodgers or one guy, and then they just go there. And I don't think that's bandwagoning. So,
okay, because I followed Tim Tebow. I think I had like 3 different Tebow shirts whenever he was all over the place. I just loved him. I still have my Florida Gators hoodie, and I think I have a Jets. I have a Broncos. I mean, I love Tim Tebow. And so, so I followed him wherever he went. But it was just because, I mean, he's a super great guy. So
I love Tim Tebow. Yep.
Tim saying, didn't the Bears pass on Mahomes?
The Bears did pass on Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was not projected to be the best quarterback in the NFL. At that time, most people wouldn't have thought he would be the first quarterback taken. And boy, oh boy, he is the best quarterback, and he has potential to be the greatest that there ever was. So it hurts that the Bears traded up to get Mitchell Trubisky, who some people are considering might be a bust. He might, not pan out at all.
Yeah.
And so, there's two quarterbacks that were taken after Mitchell Trubisky that are objectively better than Mitchell Trubisky. So it's a little bit of a tough situation to be in as a Bears fan.
So for those of us who are not who don't follow, here's my stance. What makes Patrick such the desired player, such the 10-year contract and the face of this team for 10 years? And I mean, it was his contract, the highest paid in all of sports by like a couple dollars, or by like,
because he likes Whataburger.
Hush your mouth. He does. He does love Whataburger.
Pretty much. Patrick Mahomes, and I'm seeing in the chat mention of Michael Jordan. Pretty much Patrick Mahomes is the Michael Jordan of the NFL. He is a game changer. Whenever he steps on the field, there's an immediate presence that's felt when Patrick Mahomes is on there.
And when he's hurt, oh my God.
He really brings something different. He can do whatever you ask of him. He's right-handed, but he has thrown a touchdown pass left-handed, which is ridiculous. He can do what is now being coined as the no-look pass, where he will literally look somewhere else and throw it, and it goes where he wants it to. He does unbelievable things that just really shouldn't be possible. He's a ridiculous athlete, and I think the best comparison is, a Michael Jordan of the NFL.
I mean, definitely his talent is unmatched. And the thing is when he was here at Tech, we just couldn't fire. Like if we'd have had him and if we'd had a defense, I mean, it would have been amazing. But he couldn't win all of our games for us. We had to have a defense and we couldn't put a stop to it. But I mean, the kid is super talented. I mean, he's going places. Great kid.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Carrie's asking, so do you think his contract will change the future for contracts, not only in the NFL, but all through pro sports?
I think so. Usually you see the baseball contracts are the biggest ones. Previously, Mike Trout had the biggest contract in sports. So for an NFL player to be the top paid position, I think it definitely changes the landscape of what we're going to see with contracts. Because in the NFL, it's a lot easier, even though Patrick Mahomes plays in the most important position in sports, you can still have a good team without a quarterback, for example, Chicago. But when you look at baseball, if you have, that difference maker, that Sammy Sosa or Barry Bonds or someone like that, you can win much more with one player. Or if you look at basketball, there's only 5 guys on the court. So if you have one really good all-star, obviously they're going to make that money. But in the NFL, you've got 22 players on the field, 11 on offense, 11 on defense. So the fact that one of those guys is making a third of that team's salary changes the landscape of what is going to be the new norm for sports. And that is crazy.
And Alex, I know that we've had and I don't know names because I don't follow pro football very much, but I know that I've seen some of the headlines where there's some guys that haven't been that great, but they want like big contracts. And it's and I know it's one of the Cowboys. I can't think of his name.
Dak Prescott.
Yes, and I'm like, you haven't been that great, but yet you want more money. And I if you're not, I feel like if you're not matching, then you shouldn't be, if you're not performing, then you shouldn't be asking for that kind of money. So, and I guess that's because I know he's not the only one on the Cowboys that's been like that too. I mean, it's just getting to be more common. And that's kind of a reason why I also don't watch NFL, just because, the college, they're playing with heart right now because they want to be eventually in that position. And so, they're out there giving it their all. NFL, they're like, I'm getting paid.
I made it. Yeah.
You know, that's kind of a thing for me.
Yeah.
But you know, but the rules are changing as far as colleges goes. You know, now I think something about they are going to start letting them pay or something.
I think they can get sponsorships now while they're in college.
Oh, that's right.
That was something they weren't able to do now. So,
which I don't know how I feel about that, because I'm like, you're not going to play to your full potential because you're already making a little bit of money. I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. I think like if the college gets to make money off of them, why can't they make money off of themselves?
Well, because eventually you are going to get to make that money.
But if they don't,
but some of them are already on a scholarship, though.
I mean, so
but if some of them don't get drafted into the pros, is what I'm saying. But they're doing good in college, or they just change and they're like, you know what, I wanna go do computers instead now, or I want to go raise chickens. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Raise chickens or get a 10-year contract with, you know.
Dude, I'm not claiming I understand their mindset, but for some reason, like I said, the college gets to make money off of it. I see it more as an equality thing. If the college is making money off of them, why not allow them to make money off of themselves too, their brand? And this is me being more pro business, like self, like your brand. Like I believe everyone walks around with their own brand. Like Alex, your brand is the podcast that you're developing right now. Sandy, yours is the insurance business and the show, you know. And so we have these things that we potentially can tap into that can provide us some sort of financial thing.
Okay, but here's the deal. First, I got to put in all the work. Okay, I got to put in all the work, which is going to be my college career. I got to put in all my work. That way I can reap my rewards later. Because now we're going to be like, I don't want to start in and then I'm going to be entitled and then I'm not going to perform as well because I'm already making money.
But their performance is already based from their school. Like they're paying to go to college. Some of them are. Granted, not all of them, right?
There's scholarships.
Some of them are right. So, but let's just say, given the benefit of the doubt, some of them are getting paid, or some of them are paying their way through college. Some of them, and they're still having to study though and make the grades to stay in the team, and they've got to show up to practice however many times a week.
That's putting forth the work into it,
right? But why not make that pay? Why not make that pay?
I'm not with that though. That was just part of like in college level. It's just a part of it. But one of my former coworkers, he actually is an NFL recruiter.
Oh, he is?
Okay, wow.
Yeah. And he's only 24. Yeah, he's an NFL recruiter.
Wow.
He's a baby too.
I know, all these babies up in here.
Man, y'all doing something.
I'm just
what do you think, Alex?
Yeah, Alex, tell us. Sorry, we just cut you out.
No, I think you guys kind of hit all of these things on the head. And I think that it's tough. It's a very interesting situation because I see Jaime's point where, why, if the schools are making money off of their name, why can't they, make money off of their own name? And that part has always kind of bothered me, that these kids can't, start branding themselves while they're, young, and they can't brand themselves until they're out of college. But I feel like for any of us, if we weren't, tied to a sport, like for example, like my music, if I wanted to brand myself when I'm in school, I can't. But just because they're playing the sports and they're in the limelight, they don't get to brand themselves. And it's a little bit interesting that anyone else can, but they can't, and make money off of their name.
Let me interrupt you, Alex. Okay, so let's take Manziel for a second. Okay, he was selling his autograph or whatever it was that he was doing, that he was making money.
Yeah.
Okay, where is he at now?
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone. Okay, and he was uber talented, and he was going to be somebody, and his head got this big.
Yep.
And what happened? And so what's to say? And they're young kids. Okay. So then you're putting them in the position of what's going to happen to them? I mean, are they all going to get like that?
I mean, I think it's up to you know, how you were raised. I think that comes with it. You know, if you come from a humble family, which I don't particularly think Manziel did, he was always that, you know, the Richie Rich kid and never knew the value of, you know, money or anything. So he'd just go about it willy nilly. But, you know, you get a guy like Patrick Mahomes, for instance, who's, you know, a down to earth guy and, you know, was raised the right way. I'm sure if he had that power when he was in college, that he would have, you know, been just fine. And I feel like he's the kind of guy that would, you know, have money in the bank in case something ever happened. You know, a lot of these guys, as soon as they go pro, they're like, I'm going to buy this mansion, I'm going to buy this car, I'm going to do this and that. And, you know, but then you've got, you know, smart guys like Peyton Manning that, you know, use their endorsement money, but save their actual contracts and put that in the bank, and then they're set for life. Even a guy that I never would have thought that was that way is Rob Gronkowski. He specifically said, I have never once spent a game check.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't know that about him.
Yeah, he never spent a game check and has exclusively used his endorsements as his source of income. So if you're smart about it in that regard, you can use those endorsements that you started when you were in college and use that as your livelihood, and then but then just use your NFL money to keep your family, you know, set for forever. I mean,
yeah. So Sandy, Alex, Sandy, I wonder if the person or the guy who you were mentioning a second ago, like, and I think you have a valid point though, but I wonder if those are the outliers. If those are the ones that, those aren't the norm, those aren't the standards. Those guys you're talking about, those are the people that, you know, they're 1 in 100 or, you know, whatever made up number. But then the guys like you're talking about, Alex, because even in just this conversation, I'm not saying that we're not doing a numbers game here, but, you know, you've got one person you mentioned, Sandy, and then Alex, you mentioned 2 people. Are there more people that fall into either category? Where are the majority at?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know, but maybe y'all do. But I'm just saying, I wonder if that outlier is that, yeah, not as many of them will be that big-headed, you know, maybe some of them are actually, you know, they're smarter. They're like, I'm big-headed, but I'm not going to go out there and do all that.
Well, and let's talk about, okay, so there was a famous football player who committed a murder, committed suicide. You guys know who I'm talking about. What's his name?
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
Oh,
I was going to say Alex Hernandez. Aaron. Wrong one. Anyway, so I mean, okay, so look at his partying days in college. I mean, all of his stuff started when he was in college. Yeah. So you can't trust. You guys told me yesterday your brain doesn't develop until it's 25. Here we are giving these undeveloped brains money. Okay.
Oh, but we give them so much more than money. We give them so much more stuff besides money.
And so I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like they would make the right decisions. And I don't know. I'm just still on the whole, don't pay them, let them work for it. Let them not be entitled to it and think that they're entitled to it. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox now.
I want to keep going, but I'm not going to, because this is the most, like, not most fun, but this is definitely a highlight of this week so far for me.
Read Carrie's comments.
Okay, well, I've actually got a ton of comments I need to go back to, so I'm going to start up at the top. But Alex, did you want to say anything else before I start getting some of these comments?
No, I'm good. I'm good too. I'm off of mine.
Okay. So earlier, I had to ask because it was Joe, but Joe was saying something about the freaking thing started sliding up. He's the one that mentioned the Michael Jordan, but then he said Mitchell still has some time though. So I don't know.
And so we were growing up, we were huge Michael Jordan fans, and I think he also go to the Charlotte Hornets?
He's the owner of the Charlotte Hornets, but he went to the Washington Wizards after.
Okay, so I'm sure that wherever he went, we were fans. I mean, so we used to watch, you know, growing up, we did. This is when Joe Montana was this is when Larry Bird, David Robinson. I mean, that's when we watched when basketball was basketball, football was football. But yeah, so I was all over the board. I mean, Dan Marino, oh my gosh, I love the Dolphins.
And I only like the Dolphins because Sandy liked the Dolphins.
Thank you, B.
And
All right. So Carrie says, Alex, if you ever get a chance to watch him in person, do it. The TV just doesn't pick up his excitement he brings into the stadium.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, that's one of my goals is to see Mahomes do it.
So we went
live.
to the Final Four in Minneapolis when Texas Tech basketball team got to go. And so we were out fangirling out in front of the hotel watching the team get on. And out comes Patrick. And I'm like, oh, my God, there's Patrick.
I can see
Y'all
that.
should have seen me. I looked like a fool out there, but I was like, oh, my God.
Was it as much as our beatboxer?
Probably right along the lines.
So Alex, she loves. We found out a while back that Sandy loves beatboxers. So she fangirls pretty.
What is it? Breakdancing.
Breakdancing.
That is just amazing to me. Just the talent that pours out of these people.
Oh yeah,
dude, she was literally in tears. Like she was just smiling ear to ear, tears, red face. It was cool. Here we go. I think this is Joe again. Says he has the intangibles which are not scouted by NFL scouts, so that's why he was passed over.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Sean knew who you were talking about. He
he sure did. He's like, Dad.
Look at him.
I think Sean has a Cowboys jersey on in his picture, or maybe a Cowboys shirt on.
That wouldn't surprise me if he did. Actually, Sean was notorious when I lived in Lubbock for loved his Cowboys. So, Tim, how is Casey going to pay the rest of the team?
Right.
Yeah,
that's a good question.
So they actually just signed their best defensive player the other day too to a really big contract. So now it's about 2/3 of their team's salary is used up.
2 people,
pretty much for 2 people.
Wow.
So they're banking hard on these 2, right?
Yes, they are using Mahomes as the man for their offense, and then Chris Jones is who they signed as the man of their defense. But the way that Patrick Mahomes' contract is structured out, and I had it pulled up because I saw that question come up, and I was waiting for it. And so really, it was an extension. So he was already on contract for 2 more years. So he makes $10 million this year, 22, 29, and then it starts to go way up. But by the time 2023 rolls around, the average for a quarterback will be closer to that. That $44 million will be closer to what the general average of an NFL quarterback is making. So the way that this deal is structured is very team friendly, and they're in a win now mode. Obviously, they just came off of winning the Super Bowl, and his contract right now is structured in a way for these 3 years for them to just terrorize the league, because he's still on a young man's contract that they can build around and get other players, to succeed and get younger guys under there. So that way, when it's time for those older players to get their new contracts that they can't afford, they'll have guys that can step right in and fill in those shoes. And that's the plan that they have to pay the rest of the team, is really just to build underneath what they already have for those 3 years and get guys ready to go.
Wow.
Carrie saying, I wonder if teams, all sports, are going to focus more on franchising players early. But let's be honest, Andy Reid struck gold in attitude and talent on the field and leadership in the locker room.
Into that, he sure did.
Yes, he did. And he's one of the best coaches in the game. He's infectious. If you watch him, I mean,
I love watching him.
I love watching
cool.
Andy Reid, and he's just a down-to-earth guy. I think after the AFC Championship, which is the game before the Super Bowl, they asked him, hey, what are you going to go do? He's like, I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to go home and eat a cheeseburger. That's just the kind of guy he is. He's just a super down-to-earth guy, and I'm so happy he finally got a Super Bowl ring. He's just an awesome guy, a family man, just the kind of guy you'd want to have a beer with on an afternoon.
And a cheeseburger with Alex.
And a cheeseburger, yeah. Yeah, just sit down, have a beer, cheeseburger, that's the kind of guy he is. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Here's Joe. He wanted to get in on the action too earlier. We kind of left that train, but pay the players. The colleges make so much money off of these athletes.
Next comment.
Carrie, Jaime, I hear what you're saying, and there should be some give in that. But a lot of these guys get to be a 5-year senior and get master's degrees for free. That's a ton of money given, but yes, there needs to be some give in that area.
Those are the smart ones that make the most out of their free ride.
Right. What's the guy? There was that guy who medical doctor after he finished his NFL. I remember reading.
I can't remember. Yeah, but
afterwards he decided to be a medical doctor and help out the community that he was living in, and so it's like, holy snap! This guy wasn't just a big baller in the field, but he went actually applied. Which I'm not saying any other people don't apply themselves. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you political science people.
Joe's again, and they are not allowed to have jobs, so no money to buy things.
Oh, that I didn't
No,
know.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah,
I
they
even knew
have
that.
to dedicate themselves to the team, but they have money. Don't be worried about it, Joe.
But what if there's a scholarship, kids? I mean, they had to work themselves to get there.
Yeah, because other kids get scholarships that they're not playing sports, but they. Yeah, I'm not.
You know, like, so what will make the difference? Okay, well, we'll change the topic.
It's a touchy thing.
It's a fun topic because I just.
Give them an allowance $20 a week, because otherwise they'll be at the bars. I know I would.
No, they wouldn't, because they lose their scholarships and all their other perks. They wouldn't do that. I believe they wouldn't.
Okay, Mayfield.
No.
Baker Mayfield. That's all I got to say about that. Y'all seen some of his history.
Listen, Linda.
Ryan?
Manziel was not talented. He had a great receiving core.
Anyway, next comment.
Carrie says he's in Canada with his terrible attitude, Sandy.
Yeah.
Dandy.
I did not know he was in Canada.
Manziel was way overrated. Is what Joe's
Agree
saying.
with that. That's a great statement. Yes. Way overrated.
Okay, Carrie says, I think a big part of it is leadership and guidance from the coach as well. I know Bob Knight was a chair-throwing dude, but he made his athletes work in their school work so they had something to fall back on. I don't have a problem keeping the 18-year-old off social media and in a bubble to raise them up properly in the spotlight. Pat Mahomes had a famous daddy to watch.
He did.
I mean, Dad was uber talented, and that's the thing is Pat can also play baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Really? He's like Michael Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pat could have played professional baseball, but chose football instead and got paid like a baseball player. So it worked out for him.
Yeah.
John saying Dallas Cowboys pay Dak.
John, do you really think Dak's that great? I think he's kind of overrated now.
Ooh. So we have a delay, Alex, just so you know, when we ask a question, it takes at minimum 45 seconds for a response to come back to us. So we'll give John some time to answer that for you, Sandy. Wow. So, oh my gosh, we're already at the 53-minute mark, actually. Holy geez.
Wow.
And John said yes, Sandy. Yes. Okay.
What did I ask? I am.
I believe her on that because I was sitting here thinking, what did she?
Do you really think he's that good?
That's right. Yeah, you said Dak isn't very good. Yeah.
So are you saying yes, you agreed to my statement, or
he said yes again.
Oh, we got another yes.
Yes, Sean agrees with me.
Oh man, Alex, listen, it's been wonderful having you here with us. I do want to give you a moment to say whatever it is you want to say. Want you to share whatever it is you want to share. We'd like to give our guests some time to kind of plug whatever it is they want to plug. You know, whatever you got here. So we're just going to give you a couple seconds to the screen,
Sure.
Okay?
All right, well, thanks for having me. Once again, my name's Alex Dwyer. I'm part of Not a Normal Football Podcast. You can find us on any streaming service, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts. We should be pretty much everywhere now. And if you want to follow us on social media, we have Twitter at Not Normal Football. We have a Facebook page, Not Normal Football. And we have a YouTube page that's not normal football as well that we are going to try and start up. We'll probably just be uploading the podcasts there. Not really video, probably just have like static images or something like that. But if you want to talk football, feel free to message us on that Facebook page or on Twitter. We'd love to get just actual fan reactions now that we're starting to get some more views. So once again, thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome, Alex.
Alex, that's awesome. Make sure to send me all that information, Alex, so we can get it in the comments, or at least post another thing with everything, all your social media,
Sure.
so that we can share it with everyone on the show. Okay.
Yeah, man.
And the last question that we ask our guests before they leave is, we love for them to give us a topic for a future episode. So with that in mind, do you have a topic for the future that we as the Social UnDistancing Show can tackle in the future?
I think a good topic is always just favorite movies. I'm a big film guy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sandy.
I'm like,
Alex, Sandy does not watch movies.
Watches unsolved mysteries, documentaries,
Anything dealing with real life death, she loves.
yes.
Or crime.
crime.
Time.
Real life death. No, just crime shows, Alex.
we
So,
can
I'm
talk
writing
some of that.
Real quick, I will give you this last comment because I think it's fun. Carrie says, Alex needs to come back so we can passionately discuss curling.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk
Yeah,
about
let's do that.
It's a fun one. I do love that whenever they do the Olympics. I'm like, oh my gosh, why is this so stinking exciting?
I know.
I'm like, it shouldn't be this exciting.
Honestly, it's almost up there with that sled thing where they go down that tube.
Bobsledding?
Oh yeah.
No, is that bobsledding?
Luge.
Oh, yep.
Oh my gosh, that's always freaky when they do that.
Yes, it's curling like that for me. I'm like, oh, they're gonna die.
All right, Alex, man, you stick around in the green room if you want, but if not, just have a good night, man. We loved having you on. Okay.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
All right. Good luck.
Good night.
Guys, that was fun.
That
was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. I hope y'all all thought it was fun. Like, that was some great back and forth, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh, I'm getting roused right now.
Right. You're like, I don't even watch the sports, but I'm
and I knew that rule went. So anyway, I would love to have another round of that later on or something. We'll see. We'll do it in the after show if we can, right? Man, anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed it too. I hope y'all love that. Alex was a good guy.
I wish he would have played a guitar or something, would have made him better, but okay.
Maybe I should have just take the guitar part off of the promo. I maybe should have done that, but we'll see.
Right.
You live and learn. You live and learn,
I don't think he would have wanted to. I don't think that was his
He's
point.
really talented though. He really is. So how are we gonna
background?
Yeah. How are we gonna do the what?
If he was that guy that carried his guitar around the campus and had all the
Funny thing about that, I have another acquaintance up here who follows that same thing. The girls and I, one year, he was just playing his guitar, and the girls, there's this little, like in Texas Tech, the circle where the water fountain is and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something like that in the middle of town up here in Normal, and everyone in the community just goes and hangs out there. You can just lay down on the grassy knoll. There's water everywhere. The kids like to walk on their feet. This guy is playing the guitar. Next thing I know, my girls, they're little bitty, just go up to him and they just literally sit around him, like at his feet, just hearing him play. And I was like, that is so stinking cute. But he played good. For years, we always saw him there. We'd always go back, and he would just play for us and the girls. And he's a college kid.
Hat out there?
No. But it reminded, when you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, that guy is cool. Actually, I wish I could remember his name. But anyway,
the guitar guy.
The guitar guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone, I hope you had a great time tonight with us. I hope you can come back tomorrow night. We are going to be doing our Feel Good Friday. I haven't made the promos for those, but I will get them up tonight so that we can all get reminded. And don't forget, the after show is tomorrow night. You'll want to come in there because it's unscripted. On that show, we let loose and talk about whatever we want to. So you guys have a great night. Have an excellent Friday. And as usual,
remember to wash your hands.
for at least 20 seconds.
You filthy animals.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
When I say, I don't laugh at Joe.
Yours is so cute, though.
Yours is cuter than Joe's.
It really is.
I'll take that. Did you hear that, Joe? Did you hear that?
Joe's for real calling everybody filthy animals.
Yeah. Joe takes a weird pleasure in saying it. It's like, okay, calm down now. You know?